Greetings, blessings, everyone. It's your boy, Bishop John. Candidate to elaborate a little more on lust and the nature of lust and what happens when lust becomes sin. Lust is the actual sin, but in order for lust to even take place, it has to be a birth to the lust, which means temptation and desire had to take place first. They had to intertwine to create lust. And once the lust is created, that's when the sin is born, and then that's when it becomes death or subject to death. That's why it's careful, and the Bible speaks so much on the desires of the heart. The desires of the heart are, the things that, the definition of desire is a strong feeling of wanting for something to happen. So whatever the strong feeling that you want to happen, that's what desire is. And whatever that may be, it's not just sex. And see, a lot of people get confused with lust because in the Christian church, or most people, when they talk about lust, they're referring to sex. And lust is not just a sexual sin. Lust is anything that's you want too much for, or you have a strong desire for, and you fall into the temptation of it. And it's not good for the soul and the edification of the soul. Temptation doesn't even become temptation until your desires, you want it so strong that you don't, control your urges, or you don't control, you have practice self-control, and then it becomes temptation. And when you fall into that temptation, it becomes lust. That's why self-control and preserving your soul is very important. Your lust, I just spoke on money, sex, and murder the other day. You can lust for all three of those things: money, sex, and murder. You have people out here who have urges to kill. They don't control their urge to kill. It doesn't have to be physical death. It could be spiritual death. Kill people spiritually. Kill people's esteem, or kill people, people's good spirits. They're just, bitter people or evil people. It can also refer to a physical death. Like, you got people out here that kill and enjoy the urge of murder, which is a sin. And, you can desire to kill somebody and rebuke that desire. But once that desire becomes temptation and you fall into that temptation, that's when it becomes a sin. You know what I mean? It's a sin to actually kill. It's not necessarily a sin to desire to kill, because a desire can be rebuked. A desire can be reversed. A desire can be controlled. We have many desires that aren't necessarily good for our souls and good for our spiritual journey that we have to get rid of. But you must first get rid of the desire before it becomes temptation. And once you get rid of the desire, it's no longer temptation. I'm going to read the scripture here from James chapter 1, verses 13 through 15. It says, "Let no one say he is tempted. I am being tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted by evil, and he himself does not tempt anyone. But each one is tempted when he is carried away by his own lust. Then when lust has conceived, see, it gives birth to sin, see? And when sin is accomplished, it brings forth death." See, it's a process. It's a process. See, desire and temptation have to intertwine for it to become lust. That's what I'm saying. people don't really understand lust or lustful nature. So, when it's not thoroughly explained to them, they lean into their own understanding, or they continue to do lustful things because it has not been thoroughly explained to them. And what I came to do today and what I've been doing all this week is thoroughly explaining lust, because lust is something that I heavily have dealt with in my life, so I can break it down and explain it thoroughly to other people who had the same urges or, the same temptations. And it's very important to control your desires before they become temptation, because whatever frequency you vibrate at, it can affect that. You see what I'm saying? When you kill somebody, obviously you're vibrating at a lower frequency. When you commit adultery, obviously you're vibrating at a lower frequency. You're having sex with another man's wife. You couldn't be in your right mind. You're in your carnal mind. Money. When you get caught up in the love of money and what money can do, when, buying material things and caught up in being materialistic, you're vibrating at a lower frequency.